It sounds like the young millennial Josh, I get to call you by, right?
Yes.
Javaheri is joining us, and you are the founder of Lucky Day.
Yes.
What is Lucky Day?
Thank you for having me, first of all.
Well, it's good to have you here.
Yeah, so Lucky Day is essentially this gaming platform where users can play free games and win real cash. That's the simple concept. And when we first started, we were really hesitant on which area to go into, casino games, arcade games. But the reason why we ended up going with casino games is because people already understand these games.
That's right.
And there's no need to go out there and educate the market. It's really about just showing them that, yes, it's free, and yes, you can win real money with zero risk.
Okay, you of course know then all of the issues that hit these massive companies about 8 years ago, right? They were in Costa Rica, around the world, they were worth a fortune. And the US government, through some laws and sanctions, just shut those companies down. And they were gambling sites.
Yeah.
Are you not a gambling site?
Correct. We're considered under sweepstakes regulation.
A what?
Sweepstakes.
A sweepstakes, okay. And what does that mean?
So it essentially means there's no purchase necessary, no consideration needed to be made by a user. So essentially when someone logs into Lucky Day, there's no real entry point to even put in money into the app. Essentially you can play our games, and at the end when you win this real cash, you can just transfer it right to PayPal. You never put in a dime.
So you don't even have to put a dime, but there is an incentive because you're making money.
Correct.
You're a capitalist, right?
Somewhat.
Really? I think you are. Are you an entrepreneur?
Yes.
Define an entrepreneur for me.
So to me, what gets me excited about entrepreneurship and growing a business is really the growth. So for us, it's we want to make money, yes, but that's only so we can grow the business faster. It's not really revenues first, because we understand that in the long term, that won't allow us to grow as fast as we want and to take a big portion of the market. So we're more focused on the growth side of the business.
So you're on user acquisition.
Exactly. So
Okay.
user acquisition, as well as bringing this experience alive for the user.
So to put money into your platform, does that accelerate my sweepstakes odds?
So there actually is no way to put in money.
There is no way.
There is no way.
So, okay, now I'm going to go right now. I'm downloading this. Can I make a lot of money on your app?
So right now you can make anywhere from $1 to $100,000, because the lottery jackpot is 100,000. But typically users are winning around $10, because that's the goal to hit before you can cash out.
So I'm going right now to, what do I search in the App Store?
Simply just Lucky Day, 2 words.
Lucky Day.
Yes. That's it.
Right there? So it's just Lucky Day.
Yes.
So I'm going to get this right now. Is there in-app purchases or anything?
Not at the moment.
Okay, tell me, come on, how do you make money by giving money away for free?
Yeah, so recently we actually added in our first opportunity for us to make money and also for the user to get more chips. So many users were texting us we want to be able to continue playing. We don't want to wait 24 hours to get our chips refilled, because that's how it works. So we're like, okay, what can we do for them? And we decided we're going to add this free chips button where they can essentially click the button and watch a video. It's about a 15 to 30 second video.
There you go. Okay, got it.
To earn some more chips to continue playing.
And then that advertisement subsidizes whatever the split is, so you make some money from the ad, right? And then they are able to add to their pot.
Correct. Except we're not making any, literally we're burning a ton of cash.
Well, right now you are. I'm
Yes.
saying is, let's just say if you were cash flow positive, that's where the cash flow would come from, right?
Ideally at the moment, but the long-term goal is around partnerships with global brands, because we see Lucky Day as this unbelievable advertising platform that can really engage users. So what we essentially want to do is partner with brands like Yum Brands, Lyft, and essentially flip what a loyalty program is. So typically when someone goes into a Fat Burger or a Burger King or one of these fast food chains, they're only using their loyalty app when they're in the store. Mm-hmm. But Lucky Day, users are using this at home, in the bathroom, in traffic, all the time. So we're saying, look, you already have 100,000 customers that come to Fat Burger a month. We can now flip the equation by moving those users onto Lucky Day, showing them Fat Burger coupons, discounts, promotions while they're playing the game, inherently going to increase them to come to Fat Burger 2 to 3 times a month.
God, are you a Fat Burger person or an In-Out Burger?
I am a no-burger person. I prefer Sweet Greens. I'm a big fan of theirs.
Sweet, we've had them on. We like the guys from Sweet Greens. They're good guys. Actually, it's a good call. So how far or how much has the app grown?
So we came out about 6 or 7 months ago.
Okay.
And since then we've grown to about 500,000 users.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
For us, that's just maybe the drop in the bucket, because we really see this as going to 100 million plus users. And that's what really got me excited early on to start the concept. Is there's a lot of noise out there, right? Mm-hmm. And we saw this idea of free money really giving us an edge to cut through the noise. But early on we had these issues with people not believing it's real, But
Well, it's kind of an oxymoron, free money, right?
Exactly.
It really is. So you found a way to leverage, by the way, it's not really free.
Correct.
Meaning you have to take time to do something to earn those credits, and that's through advertising, whatever. That's okay, right?
Yeah.
Some people can justify that time. Others would prefer not to see those ads and maybe pay a subscription,
Yes.
right?
But the thing is, for that reason, we made our experience very short. So every day, a user will typically stay on the app for a couple minutes a day, whereas someone on Wall Street can play to as the guy that's in the burger joint. You know, that's the goal. Is we wanted everyone to have enough time to play the app. It's for that idle time.
It's great.
That's where we see
And
ourselves.
again,
going.
it's lucky days where you go. You started this company 2 years ago, right?
Correct.
As a
It was-
freshman in college.
Yeah, I was actually in Boston University for my freshman year, and near the end of my freshman year, I was working already on another startup idea. This idea hit me of like, why are we not doing something that's easier to cut through the noise, no competition, an ability to create like a monopoly essentially.
Right.
And this idea of free money, I didn't see anyone executing it correctly. Like, there's a lot of apps where you can win like a gift card or a couple dollars of cash, but you have to jump through 30 holes. There's not like a real experience. We are literally telling users, look, instead of going to Vegas, we're giving you those chips to go to Vegas with, and you could use those chips to win real cash. Why would you ever go to Vegas again?
Josh, I'm hanging out with you. We're talking about the whole idea of Lucky Day,
Yes.
which is, it's an app. Is it an online platform too, or is it just an app?
So our real goal is to capture a big space in mobile. So we're super mobile focused.
Just mobile. You don't really even see yourself having a website?
Not in the short term, maybe in the long term, but we're mainly mobile focused.
But very much like Supercell. You know who they are? Clash of Clans and Boom Beach.
A couple of my friends work there. So
Great company, right?
Yes.
$5 million a day in revenue.
Yes. Wow.
$5 million a day.
Yeah.
It is I think the second biggest company in Finland.
That's huge.
Right, and then of course Angry Birds is Finland, same thing, right? So you see where this mobile play works. It's massive, right? So as you created this company, tell me about expenses. What things popped up that you didn't expect, and how do you afford them now?
Yeah. So early on, like I didn't understand the concept of raising money, and I knew that we might need some money just to build the app
Right.
and get a first version out. But I didn't understand like the idea of okay, the first version is really just your first point.
That's right.
It's never going to be like that final point. Like nothing from the first version is like all of a sudden huge. It really takes constant innovation, learning from your user base. So we got lucky that when we went out to raise money, we threw like a $500,000 number on the back of the deck, and the investor saw it and was like, okay, I'll put in that whole amount.
How long did it take for you to go off and start pitching to actually get the funding?
Yeah, so about 4 months from the concept.
4 months.
Concept to going out to money.
Is that longer than you expected, or is that right?
That was like boom. Like the first two people we met, like the first one was in.
Wow.
The first legitimate person we met.
So you got, and tell me about your co-founders, right?
No, so I was the
You're the
sole
founder.
but I had like a couple early partners that joined me right away. So
How do you know how to manage all this? You got $500,000. How do you manage $500,000?
So first of all, we threw right in the bank, and we're like, okay, what are we gonna? We're gonna continue doing what we're doing, and that's developing our product. So we didn't go crazy on like a launch party or any other weird expenses. We just focused on building our first version,
Smart.
getting it out there right away. So we got it out there eventually, and what's the next step was we need an Android app. So we started building an Android app.
Which costs about what? Well, how much was the iOS app?
So the iOS, the first version cost between 50 and 60,000.
How much was the Android app?
And the Android, we spent a lot less. We spent about 20,000.
But kind of a pain in the butt, right, Android?
Yes, but exactly because there's so many different Android
Flavors.
phones. Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's the problem. You have one iOS, and that can go up to the iPad, right, and
Exactly.
iPhone. Android, you have to hunt and peck which phone you wanted to work with,
Exactly.
right? How did you determine the phones you wanted to work with on the Android side?
So we looked for like the top 10 devices on Android, mainly like Samsungs, and we decided to build the app for those platforms specifically, and nail those designs for those platforms. Because the big issue isn't really the functionality; it's more the design.
Right.
It changes so much per device. So that was that, and then from there it was like, okay, now that we have these apps on, what's the next step? And it was this entire product roadmap, and learning from our user base and taking that and constantly innovating. And then all of a sudden we started developing, and we're like, wow, we're spending too much money on development. At one point, now we're spending like $30,000 a month on development.
That actually doesn't sound all that bad. $30K a month is not, that's a decent burn rate. That's $360,000 a year. Not bad.
Correct.
No, it's not. I mean, you got $500,000. I know you have to somehow afford everything else. How about servers and racks and all that stuff? You went to Amazon?
Yeah, so since I'm a student at USC, I was able to find a way to get $100,000 credit with Amazon. So we ended up we haven't
What?
ever paid for servers at the moment.
I mean, you know, if when you start getting a
Yeah.
bill, your bill's probably going to be 25, 30,000 a month.
Probably not that high yet.
No?
It's because unless you have like 500,000 daily users, it might be that much. But right now we're paying about 5,000-6,000. If
Not that
you-
bad.
Yeah, not that bad.
Not, at one point in time, I was paying, and this is just for a podcast, I was paying, that didn't make money, by the way, 17,000 a month.
Wow.
Just for a podcast, right? And then Microsoft actually picked up the bill for this. Like, that was nice, okay.
Yeah.
But it's nice for you to have that credit.
Yeah. Huge.
So now, right now, you got money in the bank. You're probably not paying yourself.
Not at all.
Not at all. And you shouldn't. You know that,
Yeah.
right? What's the next big step? What's going to happen next?
Yeah, so that's the big thing is like for us is I never understood my weakness in the early on, but eventually it started to come out that my weakness is I wanted to move way too fast, you know, meaning I was ready to already jump and build this whole vision in our head, whereas instead of just staying focused on our current product, which is Lucky Day Casino, essentially it's our first casino app. So our immediate steps over the next like 18 months, for example, is to really bring this Vegas experience live on Lucky Day Casino.
Right.
Meaning going from these simple games where it's you against the computer to now it's this virtual world where it's you, the people next to you, like at the blackjack table, right? It's not just you against the dealer, it's that lobby experience. It's playing with someone on your right hand, your left hand, talking, having a margarita with each other. So we want to bring that experience,
I love
that
it.
live experience
I love it.
next. And our first touch point of that is going to be our Texas Hold'em game. So
Boy, it doesn't sound like a sweepstakes to me.
no, it's more of this like world, and our big differentiator is right now the cash, but the second area where we think we can really separate ourselves is doing social correctly and making this live interaction meaningful. Because a lot of live gaming, you don't really care who you're playing with, right?
Not at all.
Someone that's a country away. Whereas if I'm playing live with you on a blackjack game, now I really care. Because
Yeah.
now there's some meaning
There's a
behind it.
connection there.
Exactly.
So you got the business going. How many people are working with you?
Yeah, so in LA, it's about 5 of us, myself, our CTO, our amazing designer, my other partner, Nate,
Are
unbelievable.
you managing all this?
So yes, we're like a team. We work in downtown.
And you're all in college?
No, I'm
You're
the
not-
only one.
You're the only one?
Yeah.
So how many hours a day are you putting towards Lucky Day?
So
many
typically
days?
we're like in the office like 9 to 5, but
You, 9 to 5?
9 to 5.
And you're still going to school?
Yeah, school's like after that.
You're doing night school?
Yeah, so school, I have school until like 8 or 9, but after, like in class, sometimes I'm usually doing Lucky Day as well.
I'm going to ask him, just from what I see, like a Peter
Yeah.
Thiel and all these other people, why do you need to finish school?
Yeah, I'm actually considering that opportunity right now.
Of putting a little more time and dedicating towards Lucky Day?
Yeah.
Because
like-
can't you always go back to school if you want to?
Yeah, probably through one of these programs. If they make the offer to drop out of school, I might consider it. But
Will
other
your
than-
parents kill you?
That's the thing. Is if they wouldn't have killed me, I might have dropped out by now, just because I understand what I want to, like what my passion and what my goals are, and like let's just say Lucky Day doesn't go right. I know that startups is my thing, and like I will just start
Just
another
love it.
company. Exactly.
How do you market Lucky Day?
That was the beauty of Lucky Day, is like it markets itself, because this idea of free money is super exciting. So once people hear it, 10 out of 10 people will download it. Our job now is, can we capture their attention? Can we bring that engagement?
That's the key,
Can we
right? Is return
that's
customers.
Huge key.
Because they are customers.
Yes.
You're paying them to be customers in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
So as you do this, what's the competitive space look like? What else is out there that's gaming for their time too?
Yeah, and that's what gets me so excited is we're right now in this specifically in this casino space, which is around a $4 billion market. In this casino space, all the players are essentially doing the same thing. You play with virtual currency, you win virtual currency, you lose virtual currency.
But there's no out from the
Exactly.
currency.
We're saying take that virtual currency that you won, and now you can cash in for real money.
Has anyone won anything big?
Yeah, so so far we've given out almost like $300,000-$400,000.
How do you do that if you've only raised $500,000?
That's where most of the money's coming from. So we've actually started raising our second round at the moment.
So you're knocking on doors now.
We're knocking on
Are
doors
you
now.
finding more reception from non-standard money people, or is it the same Sand Hill Road venture capitalists?
We haven't actually spoken to too many like venture capitalists. It's mainly been like strong individuals that bring a lot of value add. So for example, my first partners had unbelievable value add, and they've allowed us to move from point A to point B much, much faster. And we're looking for guys in this round, for example, that are going to get us from point B to point C even faster
You
than
got
that.
because they have to think the way you do. So 20 years old, right?
Yes.
Is it hard being an entrepreneur at 20?
I think it's actually easier because you're so raw, and that's the reason why I like to not speak to too many young entrepreneurs and tell them what it's really like, because I think it'll corrupt them in thinking, wow, this is going to be hell, because it really is hell. But if you
What
don't
makes
know,
it hell? What makes it hell?
What makes it hell is it's like this, right? So when you've never experienced
It's a roller coaster ride.
It's a crazy roller coaster, because especially if you're starting it on your own, that's the hardest part, because you have no one there with you. And I think that's why, if I could go back, I might have brought someone on even earlier.
A co-founder or something?
Yeah, Nate joined me right away, like 3-4 months in, so that was amazing. And he's been there with me since the time I started. So he's been a huge asset towards me. But the main thing is just having people along that journey and having an unbelievable team, because if you don't, it's like, an idea doesn't mean anything without a strong team behind it.
But you said it's hell. Is it hell because of the pressures of raising money or the challenges of what the world is like out there? What does it mean by hell?
So for me, early hell was like, yes, it was like, we didn't understand, like, okay, you need to go raise money 3 months before you're gonna run out. You know, so we were just keep running, and we're like, because the first time was so easy to raise money, we're like, it's gonna be a joke to raise money again. All of a sudden, the economy tightens up. It's still not hard for us to raise money, but it's like, it's gonna take some more time now.
Josh, I
More
mean, from a
dedication.
senior guy like me, okay, always know it's a minimum of 90 days.
Yeah.
Always, right? And that's, you know, even if they say today, I'm going to give you a check, it's going to take 90 days to go through due diligence and for you to have that check.
Yeah, exactly.
Minimum, right? Always plan on 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
And I think you're learning this, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting your wings and your badge of
Exactly.
honor now at 20 years old.
Yeah.
So what's next? You just going to stick with this for a while?
Yeah. I also wanted to tell you the one bigger hell that I don't think most people
what is it?
notice. It's the development process. People think like, okay, technology, your ideas comes alive, you build flawless technologies out there. That is not the story at all. Building clean, scalable apps is incredibly difficult, because yes, I can build an app for 1,000 people, but to build an app that can serve 100,000 users or 1 million users.
Scalability is hard.
Exactly.
And you're doing all that internally?
We're doing it internally, and we're constantly trying to innovate. That's the big thing, is getting our innovation cycle clean and moving fast. And now we're starting to understand that process, because early on I wanted to get like 30 ideas into a build, where now I'm realizing,
Can't do
okay,
that.
exactly. You
I
gotta
mean,
focus,
look at
focus,
Smart.
focus.
Let's go back to Supercell.
Yes.
They release new builds on a timely basis with more of the ads in there, right? Because people get excited about a new app
Correct.
update, right? You want to come up with one every 2 weeks as opposed to every 6 weeks. Does that make sense?
Correct. And that's what we've been really focusing on.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
When do you hope to pay yourself?
I don't care about paying myself. It's
Really?
yeah.
Are you still living at home?
No, I live like
In the dorm?
mainly financially supported by my parents right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that allows me the ability to really run and not need to pay myself, and really put that money towards growth.
So they're subsidizing you, basically.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Do they know what you do?
They do.
They do.
They do. They're very supportive.
And I guess magazines are writing about you. You're on TV shows, news shows. You're one of the youngest hotshots right now. That's pretty cool.
Thank
And
you.
I know you don't like it, but it's a celebration, right? You don't like being in the limelight.
It's a celebration on the outside, see, but internally, it's like there's fires constantly boiling, right? No one
get it.
sees that from the external. So we're fighting, because we want to build an amazing product that people inherently want to share.
And they can do that now by going to Lucky Day on either Android or your iOS store, download the app. Free money. Isn't that crazy? Josh, thanks a lot for hanging out with us.
Thank you.